Hello, Happy New Year. This is my first live video this year, so I'm a little bit nervous actually, and it's only been a couple of weeks since I did one, but it's funny how you kind of get out of practice. It's been really nice to have a little bit of a break, and but I'm raring to go, and I'm looking forward to sharing, there we go. I'm just looking forward to sharing more recipes, more ideas, more tips, and I hope that you can share with me as well. So please feel free to comment and like and post photos of what you cook so we can all share it together. We're all learning, I love seeing what you're cooking, I really do. And if you find any exciting recipes in Cookie Do, please do share and post so we can all see. So of course, we've started lockdown today. Some people are probably feeling a little bit down, and you know, we just have to hang on in there. The end is at least in sight, even though it looks a little bit far away now. But let's stay together. The one thing we do have to do is cook a lot whilst we're in lockdown. I've noticed that it's not just dinner. I have to provide lunch now for my kids and all the snacks while they're at home. So I've had to put my thinking cap on and think what I'm going to provide for them every day. We did, of course, as everyone does, overindulge over Christmas. I always say I don't need to overindulge, but I always do. It's almost like a free-for-all when it comes to food. But it's really nice to relax a little bit as well and enjoy some treats that I wouldn't normally eat throughout the year. So it's been really nice. But I am now thinking, let's get back onto our healthy food again, and definitely feel like I need a detox. This month it's Veganuary, I can never say that properly. Veganuary, for those doing vegan or vegetarian this month. A lot of people find that it's not only good for the planet, but it's good for their bodies. I certainly think that whatever we eat, whether we eat meat or vegetarian, we should always be eating lots of vegetables. That's a given. I think it's really important. And I do eat, even though I'm a meat eater, I eat lots of vegetarian food because when I was pregnant with both my kids, I couldn't eat meat. I couldn't stomach it. I couldn't bear the look or the thought of it. So I was a full-on vegetarian with both pregnancies. And ever since, to be honest, I've really, really loved, excuse me, I discovered so many amazing plant-based recipes. And I realised that actually they are so full of flavour, plant-based recipes, and certainly with Thermomix and Cookie Do, it just makes it so much easier to make plant-based recipes. And again, in Cookie Do, there is so much inspiration. You can't believe how much inspiration there is for all sorts of plant-based recipes. And whether it's things like making your own mozzarella cheese or your own vegan mayonnaise, etc., or pantry staples, or just making dinner for everyone, there are so many ideas. Also in the UK, for those of you watching, last year we released The Plant-Based Kitchen, which is a fabulous, fabulous book, really full of amazing recipes, things that I would really like to eat myself. Excuse me, I'm getting a little bit croaky there. So this is in Cookie Do, so please do have a look in the collections, in the UK collections, for our lovely plant-based kitchen, because you'll get a lot of inspiration there as well. But there are lots of other collections and books, and just remember when you're going to Cookie Do to filter for different countries. And I used to filter for the countries I wanted to see, but now I actually untick the UK, and I might tick English as well as a language, and that way all I get is every single English-speaking recipe out there, and I find that's the best way of searching for recipes and for collections as well. Oh, excuse me, that's my coffee maker turning off. It does a little cleaning cycle while it's switching off, so I do apologise. Okay, so what I'm cooking for dinner tonight, I have to make it ahead of time because I'm making bean burgers and they kind of need to go in the fridge for a little bit. What I love about this recipe is that there's three elements to it, and it's a really lovely dish. And I also tend to make sweet potato wedges with it, and it just makes a lovely dinner. And one thing I love is that my kids love it as well. The burgers are really, really yummy, and together with the slaw that we make together and the sauce, it's just such a lovely dish. So let's start. I've got it on the screen here, so I don't know if you can see. It says bean burgers with pistau and slaw. Now this recipe you will be able to find in a UK collection that's called Allergy Friendly Collection, or Allergy Friendly Food, something along those lines. And that's where you can find this recipe. It's really yummy, it's very easy to make, and if you make it ahead of time, the slaw will be nice and cool, and the burgers, you know, if they can sit in the fridge, you know, for a couple of hours rather than cook them straight away, then it's a lot better. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to have a sip of water because I seem to have a very dry throat. Right, so let's take the lid off. Let's press start cooking. So 1 garlic clove. So I've got everything ready to go here. Garlic clove and the zest of half a lemon. So unwaxed lemon. You could use a potato peeler to take the very thin bits of zest off, because when you chop this up, it will chop it for you. But I just like doing it very thinly with my microplane. So it's about half a lemon zest. Whoop, not the whole lemon, just half. Okay, I think that should be enough. Let's press next. Pop the measure in on the bowl. And turn the speed selector to speed 6 for 5 seconds. Okay, so let's scrape the bowl with a spatula. And that's chopped the garlic and the zest for us. Ooh, that's quite a nice smell actually, lemon and garlic together. Okay, so 20 grams of apple cider vinegar. I've got mine here. So here we go. Tiny bit more. I'll tend to go over. Let's press next. 40 grams of olive oil. So I have some olive oil here. Let's add a bit more. Perfect, 39, but that's good because if I put some more, I'll probably go over. Hi Nicola, nice to see you. I'm new to Thermomix, find most recipes. No, plenty of healthy recipes, Nicola. If you want to have a chat one day, I can point you out. Skinny Mixers, for example, has amazing recipes. There are a couple of under 500 calories, but you can actually reduce the butter and the oil by a lot if you need to, so definitely doable. So lemon juice, so I need, let's chop this up. I'm going to pop the lid on for the lemon juice. Okay, so that way, if we juice our lemons on the lid like so, if there are any pips, they're going to stay on the actual lid. There we go, so that's our juice gone in. Next, okay, honey. Now, I must say, I've run out of honey, so I'm just going to use a little bit of maple syrup instead, okay? So, there you go. Let's press next. A little bit of sea salt. I'm just doing it. I think there's pepper now. Yep, got the pepper here ready. Next, pop the mixing bowl on and turn the speed selector to speed 4. Perfect. So this is just mixed up the season for us. Look, let me show you. It started emulsifying. Okay. Let's have a look. spring onions. Now, I don't have spring onions, so I've just got little onions that I've chopped up. 50 grams. There you go. Mine was on minus, but I remember how much I had before. 70 grams of carrots. That's the carrots there. And finally, it says 230 grams of white cabbage. Now, I had some red cabbage left over that I really need to use up. And of course, I love red cabbage in coleslaw and slaw anyway. So there's no point me buying any white cabbage until I've used this up. So there we go. Let's press next. So now we're going to chop our salad. But the great thing is, it's mixing with the dressing at the same time, which we made earlier on. So here we go. Let's press next. Now it's asking me to scrape the sides down. Oh, this smells good. I love this slaw. It's quite nice to make a slaw that doesn't have any mayonnaise, that has a dressing instead. Let's press next. Insert the measuring cup and 1 more second. Perfect. Okay, let's have a look at this. Let me show you. So that's our lovely slaw, okay, with that beautiful lemon and garlic dressing, and I love that. It's so much, it's kind of fresh, and it's going to go in the fridge now for a little bit, which is quite nice because it'll chill, and it's going to make a really nice fresh slaw with our bean burger. So let's pop that. I'm going to pop that on a plate. Now, how easy is it to make a chopped slaw in your Thermomix? I mean, there are no excuses not to make a nice healthy salad every single day. Right, have a look at that. So that's our beautiful slaw. I swapped the white cabbage for red cabbage because that's what I had left over and I needed to use it up. And it actually, I love the colours, it looks beautiful. So let's pop that to one side because that's going to be going in the fridge in a second. Let's press next. So it's asking me to clean the bowl. So what I'm going to do, swap my bowls over. Okay, here's my other clean bowl. So the next thing that it's asking me to make, Pistau, is a sauce that's made with basil leaves and it's also made with olive oil. Now, I don't have any basil leaves and I am limiting the amount of times I go to the shops at the moment. So what I'm going to do is, instead of making this, I actually have some fresh pesto that I made a couple of weeks ago. And I tend to make a double portion and put it in the freezer, the leftover. I actually have about 4 or 5 of these mini Tupperwares in the freezer. And I'm going to defrost this. And instead of the Pistau, I'm actually going to use pesto, because I love using pesto as a sauce as well, over chicken, over fish, and certainly over these bean burgers. Because we're not vegan in this house, obviously this has Parmesan in it, and the Pistau would be a vegan option because it doesn't have Parmesan. But yes, I'm going to be using this today, so I'm not going to do the next step. So I'm going to pass this along, but I'll just describe what we'd be doing. Let me bring my Thermomix a bit closer so you can see. So it's got 80 grams of fresh basil leaves, 3 garlic cloves, some salt and pepper. We mix all that together and chop it, 8 seconds, and then we add the olive oil, okay? And then we're going to mix that again, and that's going to make a nice lemon and garlicky sauce that goes on top that's really yummy. I do recommend that you make it. Okay, so that's the sauce. Transfer to a bowl. And now we're going to crack on with our burgers, which are the star of the show. So the burgers, 1 garlic clove, which I have ready here. I need 110 of onions, so that's 39, a bit more there. A little bit under on the onions, but that's fine. Okay, so now some oats. Because I have about 50 grams less of onions, I'm going to add a few more oats to my recipe. So let's pop 50 grams, and I'm going to add 70 just to make up for less onions. That's 70 grams of oats. We press next, pop the measuring cup on. Let me find, there we go, there's a measuring cup. And that's going to now be chopped at speed 5 for 8 seconds. Okay, there we go. So let's scrape the sides. So let me show you what it's done. It's chopped the onions and the oats together. Okay. So now I need a tin of black beans. Now again, I didn't have any black beans left in the pantry. I actually had some kidney beans, so I'm going to be using that instead. If you have white beans, you could use that as well, so it doesn't really matter. The flavours are slightly different, but it's still delicious. So anything you have in the pantry bean-wise, please feel free to use. So that's my beans. Let's press next. A little bit of chilli powder. Chili powder here. I'm not going to make it too spicy because my son doesn't like it too spicy. So, and ground cumin. So I need a teaspoon of ground cumin. Now don't forget to grind your own cumin seeds. Buy them whole. Save half of the whole cumin seeds, because some recipes will ask you for cumin seeds and some recipes will ask you for ground cumin. So it's so, oh, I was going to put it there so you could smell it, but the smell of freshly ground cumin is amazing. So just remember that you have an amazing appliance here that grinds all your spices for you. So don't forget to buy your spices ground. Same with cinnamon, with nutmeg, everything, grind it yourself. So much fresher. And a little bit of salt. Pepper, of course, salt and pepper. That's that. And then we press next. Pop the lid on again. And it's 5 seconds at speed 4. Let's press next. Now this is it. This is it. We're done. These are our burgers. So let me show you inside what it looks like. Okay, so this is the mixture. And all we have to do now is make the burgers. It says here it's for a portion of 4. So I'm going to take approximately 1/4 of the mixture. And I've actually got wet hands, so that I just wet because I knew this was coming. A little bit more, I think. And I'm going to make the burgers. So this is your bean burger. Really tasty, really delicious. Together with the slaw and the sauce and some nice sweet potato wedges. This is a really nice meal. Very filling, very tasty, and very, very healthy. So this is it. And the recipe in Cookie Doo is going to tell you need to fry these with a tiny bit of oil or maybe some fry light, just for 3 or 4 minutes on each side. And that's all you have to do. Your slaw's ready, my pesto's ready. You would have your pesto ready to go. And if you pop some potato wedges in your oven for about 40 minutes, and then you're ready to go. That's your lovely plant-based meal for the evening. Now, I hope you've enjoyed watching the video. Please feel free to post pictures or any comments or ask me any questions, and I'll keep an eye on the chat and answer them. And in the meantime, take care, stay safe, stay home, stay strong. We can do this. Hopefully it's the last, push before we get all these vaccinations out and we can get back to normal life. But yeah, take care and see you very, very soon. Bye.